I'm a software engineer here at Syntasso. Today I will be doing a quick demo showing you how you can write a simple database promise using the Kratix CLI and the Kratix Python SDK. So first things first, I'm going to use the Kratix CLI to initialize my promise in my current directory. And because my promise is a database promise, I am modifying the promise API to take in the size of the database. Next up, I'm using the CLI to include a promise configure workflow that installs promise dependencies. And we also need to build this container and loading it to the environment. And here, I'm going to add a resource configure workflow that knows how to handle incoming resource requests. I'm also saying that the workflow will be running Python. Cool, let's take a look of what this add container command has generated for us. So we get a very simple Docker file that runs Python. And this is a generated Python program. It's very simple, so let's make it our own. I'll be writing some YAML, so need to import the YAML package. And here I'm using the SDK to read the input resource request manifest, getting its name and the configuration of it. Next up, I'm going to write the manifest for my database. Here you can see that the name of our Postgres database is going to be the resource request name, and the size is going to be whatever is in our manifest. And I'm also setting a bunch of defaults so that user doesn't have to worry about that. We then will be using the SDK to write out this manifest to the Kratix output directory. And because I'm setting quite a lot of defaults in here, I think it's good to reflect some of them in our resource request status. You can also do that easily with our Python SDK. So I'm reflecting the Postgres version. I'm also reflecting the team ID for my Postgres database. Similarly to the promise configure workflow, we also need to build this image and loading it to the environment. That is everything we need to do before we can install the promise. So let's do that. Cool. Our promise is available. So we can create our resource request now. Let's take a look at the manifest. So this is also generated by the Kratix CLI. We know that we need to configure the size, so let's give it 1 GI. Right, so the workflow has completed. We can see that our status update has been reflected. And now we see our database being created in our destination cluster. That is everything for the demo. Thank you for your time.